Hi everyone, I'm going to be videotaping a summary today of a project I've been wanting to complete for a while. With the help of a gentleman by the name of Richard Spelling, I've been able to acquire a addition to a battery charger that I've been looking for to make the battery charger smart. And if folks are familiar with a very popular battery technology available today known as the Versapak, it's been around for maybe 20 years. It's always come with dumb chargers, so I'm going to be talking about that today. So here on my workbench, I'm going to be showing a little bit about some of the work I did. I was asked to do kind of a post-mortem, so some of the work's been completed, but I have a box here with the kit that was sent to me from Richard Spelling, and it came nicely packaged and of course in an anti-static bag. And what comes in here is essentially a nearly completed board that looks very similar to this one with some other nooks and crannies and some additional chips that enable me to replace the board in the device I'm going to be showing in just a moment, so that it can become a smart charger. And so I have all my tools laid out here. You don't really need too much to get this done, but just, the soldering iron I have there, some pliers to get some parts off, and I just had a screwdriver and maybe some additional light if that kind of became important. So I'm going to be going through just the rough steps of what I took to complete this. But as you can see, also the kit comes with some information, some instructions, all the parts that are put into this kit, just in case one's curious of what it takes to put this together. I know Mr. Spelling also sells the raw board with all the components separate, so one can solder them. Having seen the board up close at this stage, I'd say let the professionals do what they do best, and I would just buy the completed board from Richard Spelling so that he can ship it to you. And anyway, I'll show the rest of this in just a moment. Thank you. Alright, so here what we're looking at is the standard dual charging Versapak battery device. It is made by Black & Decker. The model of this product is the VP130, and it generally probably still ships with any modern Versapak device. Generally the ones that require a little bit more power will have the dual chargers, since you'll be needing to swap batteries more often on those. And the nice thing about the VP130 is this is the design around the Versapak Smart Charger. And unfortunately I was asked to do this video after I completed my install, but I just want to emphasize how easy it was to do this. The website that sells the Versapak kit, it's literally just maybe 4 solder points, and you slide it in and put everything back together, and you're set. So I'm just going to briefly talk about how that process worked. So if we open up the VP130, we see that there's a screw here and one in here towards the bottom, and then the power cable that comes out of the device. So inside of this is a board that looks, from the original VP130, it is this board, and this is I don't know if you can see that. This board has 2 LEDs and the surface components there. And the one thing that's missing from this board is that there are 4 clips that are soldered onto this board. And it's very small, easy solder points. And the reason these clips are no longer on this board is because, believe it or not, this is the hardest part to remanufacture into a proprietary board. So the website where I got my board simply says, desolder the 4.1234 and remove those clips. It's very easy to do, and put them on the new board. And I'm not sure if you can see this here, but there are clips inside of the VP130. There's 4 clips, 2 that contact the inside of a Versapak battery and 2 for the outside. Of course, this charges a pair of batteries, and that's why there's 4. So the other difference is the new board comes with these seemingly transparent LEDs, which can change color depending on the status of the charging of a battery. So the idea is that the board slides in here just like if it was designed for the VP130. You can kind of see that, you know, the board that's in here goes all the way to the back. I don't know, I'm sorry I wasn't able to show the whole thing, but the only other thing that has to happen is the user buys, you know, they're pretty inexpensive. I got mine at a store in California called Weird Stuff, which is close to San Jose. A 12 volt 1 amp wall wart, and you know, you just find the positive on the wire and you connect, you know, you weed it in through the VP130, which takes about all of 6 seconds. Splice the ends and connect the positive and negative to the to the board there, that of course is in my device now. And then once you have those 2 points soldered, very easy to do. You know, it took all of a minute. Close it back together, and you know, it's always good to have you know, maybe the power brick connected to a surge protector or something, you know, in case there's some kind of problem with your solder points. You know, always want to try to save anything before it explodes. And so the other thing that's important is that this does slide in directly, but the nice thing is you're getting smart charging capability. So you know, you are not overcharging your Versapak batteries. The VP130 is a, you know, capable charger from Black & Decker, but I don't know if you can see, and you know, you kind of have to be an expert here, but there's really not a lot of smarts to this board. You know, there's no you know, no complicated circuitry that's going to tell the batteries, you know, or you're going to tell the charger stop charging the batteries now, or you're going to mess them up. So you know, it's been the long-held issue that all the Versapak chargers, even the single and the double like this, they overcharge the battery. And so, you know, the standard life that you might expect out of these really neat products, and here's a Versapak battery if you've never seen one. They're very useful in terms of their size, and they fit in many different devices I have here. You know, one example is a Dremel that takes the Versapak battery, so it's very nice to just slide in a battery. So being able to charge the battery to exactly the point that you need is great, because it's not overcharging the battery. You know, if you plug in these Versapak batteries into a standard Versapak charger, you'll notice it just keeps on charging. It just keeps trying to charge and charge and charge. And the reality is that, you know, a lot of people plug these into their Versapak chargers, they forget about them, they leave them in there for hours and hours or days and days. And yeah, they might work, you know, for the first 20 or 30 recharges. All of a sudden, you know, you come home from work and you forget that it's charged that 21st time or whatever, and you either start experiencing the battery with very short usage life, and then all of a sudden the battery just won't accept a charge and it's dead. And the reality is these batteries are not cheap. They're very good, but they're not cheap. Sometimes you can find them on sale. But anything we can do to lengthen their life, you know, would be useful. And so the smart charger, which is the board that I've put into the VP130, enables, you know, the maximizing of the life of these batteries, so that, you know, they're not occupying landfills more than they have to, and you get the most bang for your buck for the battery. So that's always a nice thing to have. So anyway, that's the summary of the Versapak smart charger. I'm glad I was able to locate this board. I'm not sure anybody else is manufacturing this in any reasonable volume, so, you know, my recommendation is get the board finished, put in the clips from the original VP130, so you just kind of transfer them over, and the 2 solder points are positive and negative, and you're ready to go. So thanks a lot for your time. Bye-bye.